They are spending out their money on regular health checkups and regular health activities. They are emptying out their pockets.
So if when we are talking about free electricity and all,
Yes.
this benefits large farmers greatly because
Yes.
they have a large section of land. They use lot of electricity.
If you take Golaknath case, Supreme Court mentioned that whatever you do, just you follow the procedure. So now governments are using freebies as a tool. The government can, it can do two things. Either it can empower the people or it can keep the people under false consciousness.
Welcome to Amigos EduTalks. My name is Jayender. I'm a mentor at Amigos IAS. Here, Santosh sir, Senior Faculty for Political Science and International Relations, is joining with us.
Yeah, thank you sir. Thanks for hosting me on this week EduTalks. And last week when we discussed about these international issues, it went very well.
Yes, sir.
And of course, our students also, they're asking for more clarification on different other topics as well. And actually, in fact, they suggested this topic. So that is the reason today we are discussing about this. Anyhow, thanks for hosting me.
Yes,
okay,
sir.
sir.
Okay, sir. This freebie culture, Revdi culture, that is popularly called as Revdi culture, is almost like a chicken and egg question in the modern day public administration.
Yes,
So
sir.
there are different kinds of arguments across the spectrum. So firstly, let us clarify some basics, sir. So what do you think is this freebies? And how do you differentiate it with clientelism, patronage and public welfare investment?
So see, sir, freebies. So when we use the freebies, generally we are associating the freebies with a negative connotation.
Yes, sir.
So why this is happening? Because if we go a little bit beyond, the government can, it can do two things. Either it can empower the people or it can keep the people under false consciousness. Like Plato says that, or else Karl Marx says, either on the name of the religion or on the name of ignorance, governments try to keep the people in ignorance. So they don't come into the reality. And they're unable to assess government performance. So now governments are using freebies as a tool, so that they are keeping government in the cave of darkness. People are unable to come out of the come out of the darkness. They are not seeing. So because they are immediately getting some goods. Now come to the free goods, these freebies. So these freebies, these are what kind of nature first we have to understand. Sir, human nature always, human wanted immediate results.
Yes.
Okay. For example, if I promise that if you elect me, I'll provide free health, free education, those are the ones that welfare programs, okay, which can give a positive impact. People are not buying for that. Why? Human mind adapted towards a short-term benefit, like the Instamart, Swiggy, Instamart, and food delivery. In the same way, when government, like any political party is giving freebies, like mixers, TV, and all these things, immediately they are seeing the benefit.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so because of that immediate benefit, people are simply they are blindfolded by these positive, immediate benefits, and they are voting in that way. So in this way, in any democracy process, if we are blinding out the people with this kind of thing, whatever the name you may use clientelism, you may use freebies. At the end of the day, you are not enlightening the people. So all these things are about keeping people under false consciousness.
But some of the economists,
Yes,
usually the left economists, argue that this kind of freebies push the consumption expenditure of an economy and again starts the production and starts a virtuous cycle. So what is your opinion on this point of view where it also expands your consumption pattern, it also expands your overall consumption capacity?
So the thing is, sir, when we are preparing for UPSC or, so you quoted some experts, we should stop seeing positive in every aspect. Because if you see every aspect, we can see positive. Ramayana also happened for one reason. Mahabharata also happened for one reason. Freebies also, some positivity is there. So first one, cost-benefit ratio. That we have to think. So as, a subject matter expert on this particular area, what I can say is, we should believe in the concept of capability approach.
Good, sir.
We should
Yes,
improve the capability of the people.
Yes, sir.
How can we improve the capability of the people? Provide a better education, provide a better health, okay? So that automatically his life expectancy will be improved. His spending on the health also will be, reduced. So that his disposable income will be over the period of time, it will be improved. So if you keep on giving the freebies, if you don't provide the education properly, if you don't provide the health properly, They are spending out their money on regular health checkups and regular health activities. They are emptying out their pockets. So many times we have seen that in majority of the Indians, majority of their money going towards the medicine only.
Exactly.
Pharmacy and medicine. That is the reason Prime Minister Jan Aushadhi medicine shops, they floated. So the point is we have to improve the capability, sir. Okay?
Yes, sir.
If you improve the capability, whatever this money circulation, automatically it will increase many-fold, because the purchasing power, the qualitative improvement we can see in the purchasing power of the people. Not just because we are giving money, you can spend the money. Rather than that, you able to earn more money.
Exactly.
You able to offer more skills to the global world. So that automatically our purchasing capacity will be improved, and like you said, my economy also can be improved, sir.
Yes, sir. As you exactly pointed out, it is better to teach them how to catch fish rather than helping them in catching the fish.
Obviously.
Then apart from this, sir, so as you have emphasized on it, there is an opportunity cost in everything.
Okay.
So if you have limited resources, there is an opportunity cost in investing in something or losing out on something.
Yes,
but the general public opinion is this government is omnipotent. It can do anything. It has unlimited resources and all. That is why they ask for better roads and better capital infrastructure, as well as they also expect government to give them money every month. So how do you see this trade-off, sir? So there is an expectation of public that feeling that government couldn't do anything and whatever it wants to do. Whereas there is another side, there is a government with limited resources and limited capabilities want to try to politically gain the loyal fan base by catering to their demands. So how do you see this trade-off, sir?
So first we have to understand, which we will understand from the perspective of political parties, sir. So who are regulating political parties in India? One legislation or couple of legislations, Representation of People Act 1950, 1951,
Exactly.
and one constitutional body, Election Commission of India.
Exactly.
So we should start from there. So first, there must be a system of guidelines should be there, like what a political party can promise, what a political party cannot promise. Because in election, manifesto should be the vision for their socio-political economic development. It should not be, restricted, or it should not be narrowed down to just a few freebies. First, there the things, change need to come. And there must be a fiscal council must be established that able to vet out all these kind of, whatever the manifesto political parties are announcing, that fiscal council should be able to vetting out this manifesto, so that they make sure that all political parties are on equal grounds. They are only aiming for the socio-political broad changes.
Yes, sir.
So that they don't need to go very hasty for we will do this thing, that thing. So that means from all the political parties, expectation will be more or less will be similar. Otherwise, this is, this rat race, it will never ending, when political parties say, for example, why we are discussing this, we are discussing in the context of Tamil Nadu government announced free electricity to everyone. That universality should not be there, because whoever cannot afford, whoever below poverty line, why they are unable to, have this electricity? What are the reasons? In case if it is that much emergency to provide electricity to them, you have to provide selectively to those certain people, for example, people living in hilly areas or backward regions. Rather than that, if you are giving electricity to the people who are affordable also, it is ending in a very disastrous way. So when you come back to your question, how can we stop these political parties? First, we have to make sure to create a level playing field. Exactly. I'll give you an example, sir.
Sir.
Before the Tamil Nadu government, this Tamil Nadu election, Supreme Court made this kind of statement. What happened before the Bihar elections? When Bihar elections, in the ruling party there, they were able to deposit around 10,000 rupees in almost all in the entire Bihar women accounts. Okay, that was costed around, more than, around 25 to 30,000 crores. Why it was unable to stop there? That means the level playing field is not created.
Exactly, sir.
So when level playing field is not created, then obviously one political party try to maneuver the other political party. In that process, they will come up with this kind of irrational freebies and all.
Exactly, sir. So as you have pointed out, this gives an unfair advantage for the ruling party over the other parties because of this freebie culture.
And one more thing, sir, here, as a political science faculty as well as a political science student, we have to understand, Bentham proposed one concept called utilitarianism.
Yes, sir.
Utilitarianism believes that state should try to give whatever the maximum pleasure it can give. That these people are, they are understood in a negative way. Because what Bentham was saying, maximum pleasure means what? Qualitatively.
Yes, sir, exactly.
But rather than that, these people, quantitatively, they try to give immediate pleasure, and they're thinking like they are, in the utilitarianism and they're creating the utopian world they are thinking.
Exactly, sir. So you have clearly pointed out the difference between short-term and long-term
sir.
benefits,
Yes.
where long-term is more sustainable compared to the
Obviously, yes.
short-term.
Yeah.
And again, in your answer itself, you have pointed out one more interesting aspect, sir. That Supreme Court also has pointed out that these free benefits, freebies, where you are giving it to general public, is being cornered by some haves
Yes.
and depriving it from lots of have-nots.
Yes.
So if when we are talking about free electricity and all,
Yes.
this benefits large farmers greatly because
Yes.
they have a large section of land. They use lot of electricity.
Yes.
Same is the case with fertilizer subsidy.
Yes.
So how do you differentiate this benefiting all and benefiting rich and making rich richer
Yes.
compared to making poor empowered?
Sir, here this approach require two-way method, sir. One way is if beneficiaries are more, like if they are more than 90%, 95%, we can implement the scheme universally and
sir.
we can vet out who are benefiting unnecessarily. That is one strategy.
Yes, sir.
But if like 20%, 30%, even people who are benefiting, even though they should not, in that case, the planning must be done correctly. That means, who are the targeted beneficiaries? How can we identify the target beneficiaries? And in that process, what kind of challenges are going to be happen? How to overcome that? In that process, you can stop the leakage at max. Because here, in most of the beneficiaries, leakage is the problem. I'll give you an example, sir. So in countries like Brazil, what they do is, they'll give certain coupons. You can use those coupons only for the health. And they use some coupons. You can use those coupons only for the public education. And in the same way, now Government of India is also coming up with a digital currency.
Yes, sir.
Those digital coins you can use, you can redeem only in the public distribution shops, PDS shops only. Out of nowhere you cannot use the digital coins. So obviously, whoever the beneficiary receiving the digital coins, by default they will go to the PDS shops and they will redeem those coins. So in that way, we have to tweak these welfare methods so that these people, they will able to use benefits in a very effective manner.
Yes, sir. And in the similar note, we have also seen that there are many positive externalities as well as negative externalities because of overall welfare schemes, not just freebies in a nutshell, but overall these freebies or overall welfare schemes have some positive externalities and negative externalities. Take the case of free electricity. Because of the free electricity, the groundwaters are being strained across the country. At the same time, because of the some studies point out that because of the free bus rides, female labor force participation rate has improved significantly at certain areas. So how do we count or calculate what is the ground real life exact intentioned benefits are being delivered or not because of these welfare schemes?
So here a particular welfare program requires a multi-strategy, sir. Number one, planning. That we already covered. That means who will be the targeted beneficiaries.
Yes, sir.
And how to identify them. Second, implementation phase. Government should not stop the responsibility that we announced this scheme and this will be in autopilot mode. No. So how the scheme is getting implemented and whether the cost benefit ratio, how it is, whether the benefits are outweighing the cost. In that case, they have to able to tweak. In this process, they should able to explain to the people as well. Because obviously, explaining to people about the cost benefit ratio is also very important.
Yes,
like you quoted, free bus service. Now, the RTC unions are saying that they are going to go for strike because majority of the pending dues related to RTC corporation, they are not paid by the present government here in Telangana. So that means obviously the corporation is getting affected. When the corporation is getting affected, obviously those kind of buses which supposed to go to the remote areas, the frequency of the buses will be reduced. So eventually that leads to what? Weakening of the public system where it's supposed to help to the vulnerable people. So regular monitoring and regular evaluation of the scheme, and if any changes are required, the changes need to be done according to the things. Same like PDS, or it may be the free transport, or it may be any other case. For example, free transport is needed. In which areas it is needed? That kind of, now we are in the age of AI technology. We can use the AI technology that where are the major markets are there and which routes cover the women farmers more. So that in that area, number of frequency need to be increased, which timings, the morning or evening. So that you have to rationalize the policy so that we can minimize this kind of negative externalities, and we can outweigh the negative externalities with the positive ones.
Exactly, sir. Good, sir. Then let us speak about some core polity aspects related to this issue, sir. First thing is, in 2013, Subramaniam versus State of Tamil Nadu case, Supreme Court has clearly said that this kind of manifestos where they are clearly delineating, clearly promising large-scale freebies doesn't comes under corrupt practices. But over the span of years, Supreme Court itself is changing its stance. And in current day scenario, it is almost saying that this amounts to corrupt practice. So how do you see this evolution of Supreme Court in terms of its own judgment?
See, sir, Supreme Court initially, if you take we'll try to expand the discussion further. If you take Golaknath case, Supreme Court mentioned that whatever you do, just you follow the procedure.
Yes, sir.
So it simply supported the procedure established by law.
Exactly.
But over the period of time, things changed. People expectation from the judiciary also changed. At the international level, awareness also changed. Then by the time of Maneka Gandhi case, it came up with a jurisprudence like, a due process of law.
Exactly.
We can apply the same logic here also. Initially, Supreme Court respected the separation of powers between the legislature, executive and judiciary. And judiciary unnecessarily it want to venture out into the area of executive and legislature. It is a mix of both because elections related to legislature, from there executive will be formed. But now, when that separation of powers, until when it will be respected, till there will be no gross violation of constitution. But when there is a gross violation of constitution is happening, whose responsibility to protect the constitutional morality? Ultimately judiciary.
Yes, sir.
Now it's time to judiciary to introspect the judgment and to suggest a suitable measures to vet out this kind of manifesto announcing by political party and making sure there is a level playing field so that even independent candidates also should be able to contest in elections.
Okay, sir. As you have pointed out, separation of power, they have respected separation of powers. But there are many legal luminaries that are saying that this amounts to judicial overreach, or this also amounts to judiciary overstepping its own jurisdiction and all these things. How do you see this thing?
It happens, sir. For example, in 1990, there was a case filed regarding the women entry into the Shabarimala temple. In 1991, Kerala High Court observed that we'll respect the freedom of religion and we don't interfere. At that time, it was not that much objection. Exactly. How women rights can be violated. At that time, the court respected the religious sphere. But now, the rights awareness increased. Then obviously, court started giving more importance. Its jurisprudence expanded from the right to freedom of religion to right to dignity, right to human rights. So now also some people say that that is an overreach. But overreach is all about what kind of end goal we are achieving.
Exactly.
Okay? If we achieving the negative kind of end goal, you can say overreach. But here you can see activism, judicial activism you can say, or else judiciary as a part of making sure constitutional morality you can say.
Yes, sir. Exactly.
Rather than overreach, because criticism will be there always, the noise is there always. But it is a time to now we have to make sure this election process must be strengthened. Then only even voter turnout also can be increased.
Exactly.
If these kind of things keep on going on, when people fed up, whatever the governments are doing, they are not caring about people for first 4.5 years. Then simply they are coming up with the freebies and they are taking the power for the second time. Then obviously people will lose, interest in participating in the democratic process. That is the ultimate one. Exactly. If people stop, losing faith in democratic process, then what is the point?
Exactly, sir.
That democratic participation must be strengthened here.
Exactly. So, as a true administrator, in the beginning of the session itself, you have said there needs to be institutions to safeguard this freebies, away from freebies. But how do you see, how can we differentiate between basic necessities and luxuries in this freebies, sir? Because many parties argue that even giving scooties are basic necessities, or they are giving laptops, giving many these kind of freebies in the name of basic essentials. So how can we differentiate if we have, as you have proposed, if we have set up one fiscal council to see all these things, but even then they can come up with this outlandish arguments that these are basic essentials, these are needed for our community, all these things. So how can we differentiate that, sir?
Simple, sir. Whether it is creating any human capital or not.
Good,
okay,
sir.
whether it is creating any infrastructure or not. So these are the base points to differentiate between the necessary expenditure from the unnecessary expenditure. So whatever these political parties, free TVs and free grinders, they are not generating any human capital, they are not generating any physical infrastructure. So then automatically there is a time to introspect and remove those kind of activities. That is pretty straightforward, okay, because that is nowhere improving the people capability. Okay, like we discussed Amartya Sen, this like quote, capability approach should be required. We have to improve the people's capability. Then only democracy flourish. People will come out of that ignorance and they will think what these governments are doing. How can we make sure the government is accountable? So that in future we may introduce more advanced democratic tools in India. Like referendum, recall, initiative. There you can introduce, because that is the indicator for the maturity of democracy. When you can say that the democracy is very mature, because when people are able to participate directly in the democracy and they are equipped enough to participate in the direct democracy. That is the ultimate goal we should aim for.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you for enlightening us with a lot of aspects related to this issue. We often hear this in a political tone in our normal debates and all, but you have explained it to you, to all of us, in a non-political and constructive political aspects. So thank you, sir. Thank you for giving this insights. Okay.
Thanks for hosting, and students and audience as well. If you would like to suggest any topic to be discussed in our EduTalk, feel free to leave the topic in the comment section. Definitely we'll take up those topics if you think that is a benefit to you in your preparation as well. So thanks for watching this podcast. Have a great day. Thank you.